Oats are one of the most common breakfast foods on the planet. They're cheap, they're simple. You can find them in almost any grocery store in the world. Hundreds of millions of people eat them every morning. And for decades, people have said that oats are good for you. They say oats can lower your cholesterol. They say oats can help you lose weight. They say oats are good for your heart, good for your digestion, good for your energy levels throughout the day. But what actually happens inside your body when you eat oats every day? Is there real science behind these claims? Or is oatmeal just another overhyped health food that sounds good but doesn't really deliver? Here's what's fascinating. When you look at the research, oats do something that most other grains simply cannot do. They contain specific compounds that change how your body absorbs nutrients, how your liver processes cholesterol, and even how your gut bacteria communicate with your brain. Today, we're going to explore exactly what happens when oats enter your digestive system. We'll look at the science step by step, benefit by benefit. And by the end, you might see your morning bowl of oatmeal very differently. As always, this video is for educational purposes. If you have specific health concerns, please talk to your doctor. Now, to understand what oats really do, we first need to address a common misunderstanding. Many people think oats are just carbohydrates. They assume oats spike your blood sugar, just like white bread or white rice. This belief comes from the idea that all grains are basically the same. Carbs are carbs, right? If you're danger trying to control your blood sugar or lose weight, you should avoid all grains, including oats. At least that's what many people believe. This is where the science gets interesting. Oats contain a special type of fiber called beta-glucan. This is a soluble fiber, which means it dissolves in water. And when beta-glucan meets the liquid in your stomach and intestines, something unusual happens. It forms a thick gel. Imagine the oats you eat slowly transforming into a thick, viscous substance as they move through your digestive system. This gel coats the inside of your digestive tract. It surrounds the food you've eaten, and because of this gel, everything slows down. The carbohydrates from your meal get absorbed more slowly. Instead of rushing into your bloodstream all at once, the sugar enters gradually, steadily, over a longer period of time. This is why oats behave so differently from white bread. White bread has a glycemic index around 75. That means it causes a rapid spike in blood sugar. Your body releases a large amount of insulin to handle that spike, and then your blood sugar crashes back down. This is the cycle that leaves you feeling tired and hungry again shortly after eating. Oats, on the other hand, have a glycemic index around 53 to 55. The blood sugar rise is slower and more controlled. There's no dramatic spike, there's no dramatic crash. Research confirms this clearly. Studies have shown that oat beta-glucan can reduce the blood sugar spike after a meal by up to 28%. It can also reduce the insulin response by up to 22%. These aren't small differences. These are significant changes in how your body processes the food you eat. What does this mean for you in practical terms? It means more stable energy throughout your morning. It means you're less likely to feel that crash an hour or two after eating. It means fewer cravings for snacks and sweets in the middle of the morning. The steady blood sugar keeps your energy steady too. The steady blood sugar isn't imagination. It's the physical effect of that gel slowing down your digestion. Your body is literally absorbing the nutrients at a different pace. But controlling blood sugar is just the beginning. Beta-glucan does something else inside your body that has major implications for your long-term health. Let's talk about cholesterol. Your liver produces a substance called bile to help digest fats. Every time you eat something containing fat, your liver releases bile into your small intestine to break that fat down. Here's the important part. Bile is made from cholesterol. Normally, after bile does its job in the intestines, most of it gets reabsorbed back into your bloodstream and recycled. Your body is efficient. It doesn't want to waste the cholesterol it used to make that bile. But when you eat oats, something different happens. The beta-glucan gel traps the bile. It binds to the bile acids and carries them through your digestive system and out of your body instead of letting them get reabsorbed. Now your liver has a problem. It needs to make more bile for the next meal. And to do that, it has to pull cholesterol from your blood. The result is that cholesterol levels in your blood go down. Not because you're taking a medication, not because you're avoiding all fats, simply because the fiber in oats is redirecting your body's cholesterol into making bile that then leaves your body. This effect is so well documented that in 1997, the United States Food and Drug Administration made an historic announcement. They officially recognized that eating 3 grams of beta-glucan from oats per day can reduce bad cholesterol by 5 to 8%. This was the first time in history that a food, not a drug, not a supplement, but a simple, everyday food, was officially approved as being able to help prevent heart disease. Think about that for a moment. Out of all the foods humans eat, oats were the first to receive this recognition. The science was so strong that regulators made an exception and allowed oat products to make health claims about heart disease prevention. 3 grams of beta-glucan is roughly what you get from 1.5 cups of cooked oatmeal. One simple bowl each morning, and you're giving your liver the signal to clear cholesterol from your blood. Day after day, week after week, this adds up. Over months, the effect on your cardiovascular health can be meaningful, so oats help control blood sugar and reduce cholesterol. But there's another effect that many people care about even more: weight. When you eat oats, the beta-glucan gel fills your stomach and stays there longer than most foods. Your stomach stretches, and that sends signals to your brain saying the stomach is full. A full stomach signals to your brain that you don't need more food right now. But there's more happening than just physical fullness. Your gut releases chemical messengers called hormones that communicate directly with your brain. 2 of these hormones are particularly important for appetite control. They're called PYY and GLP-1. These are satiety hormones. Their job is to tell your brain that you've had enough to eat and that you can stop feeling hungry. When you eat oats, your gut releases more of these satiety hormones than when you eat most other breakfast foods. The beta-glucan triggers a stronger hormonal response. Researchers at Pennington Biomedical Research Center tested this directly. They gave one group of people oatmeal for breakfast and another group a processed oat-based cereal with the same number of calories. Both breakfasts had the same energy content. But the results were very different. The people who ate the actual oatmeal felt fuller for longer. They reported less hunger throughout the morning. They had less desire to eat. And when lunchtime came, they ate fewer calories without even trying to restrict themselves. This wasn't about willpower or discipline. Their bodies were sending stronger signals that they were satisfied. The communication between gut and brain was more effective after eating oatmeal. This is why oatmeal has a reputation for keeping you full until lunch. It's not just the fiber physically filling your stomach. It's your gut actively communicating with your brain through hormones, telling it that you've had enough food and don't need to seek out more. So oats control blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and help you feel full longer. These are significant benefits, but there's something about oats that almost nobody talks about. Oats contain a compound that exists in no other grain on earth. This compound is called avenantramide. Avenantramide is a type of antioxidant. Antioxidants help protect your cells from damage. You've probably heard of antioxidants in blueberries, green tea, or dark chocolate. Many foods contain antioxidants of various types. But avenantramide is different. It's found only in oats, not in rice, not in wheat, not in corn, not in barley, not in any other grain. Only in oats. What does avenantramide do in your body? It reduces inflammation. Inflammation is your body's natural response to injury or infection. When you cut your finger, inflammation helps heal the wound. Short-term inflammation is helpful and necessary. But chronic long-term inflammation is a different story. Ongoing low-level inflammation is linked to many serious health problems, from skin conditions like eczema to heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers. Researchers at Tufts University studied avenanthramides and found something remarkable. These compounds can reduce inflammation at extremely low concentrations. We're talking about parts per billion. Even tiny amounts, far smaller than what you'd get from a bowl of oatmeal, have measurable effects on inflammatory markers. Avenanthramides work by blocking a specific pathway in your cells that triggers inflammation. They essentially turn down the volume on your body's inflammatory response. These compounds also help protect your blood vessels. Research suggests they may help prevent the buildup of plaque in your arteries, which is the process that leads to heart attacks and strokes. This is why oats aren't just another grain. They contain something genuinely unique, something you cannot get from any other food. When someone tells you oats are nothing special, that they're just like rice or wheat, they're missing this entirely. But perhaps the most important thing that happens when you eat oats every day is something that almost no one discusses, and it might be the most profound effect of all. Inside your gut, there are trillions of bacteria. These aren't bad bacteria that make you sick. These are beneficial bacteria that help you digest food, produce vitamins, and protect you from harmful pathogens. Scientists call this community of bacteria your gut microbiome. Here's the important question. What do these bacteria eat? They eat fiber. Specifically, they eat the types of fiber that you can't digest yourself. Your stomach and small intestine can't break down beta-glucan completely, so it travels down to your large intestine, mostly intact. And that's where your gut bacteria are waiting. When your gut bacteria feed on beta-glucan, they produce substances called short-chain fatty acids. The three main ones are called butyrate, propionate, and acetate. These short-chain fatty acids do remarkable things in your body. First, they nourish the cells that line your intestine. Your gut lining is constantly renewing itself, and these fatty acids provide fuel for that process. They keep your gut barrier strong and healthy. A healthy gut barrier prevents harmful substances from leaking into your bloodstream. Second, short-chain fatty acids reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, not just in your gut. They enter your bloodstream and travel everywhere, helping to calm down inflammatory processes in distant tissues and organs. Third, and this is where it gets really interesting, they send signals to your brain. Your gut and your brain are connected through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. This is a two-way communication system. The bacteria in your gut can influence how you feel, how you think, and even your mood. Here's a striking fact that surprises most people. About 90% of the serotonin in your body is produced in your gut, not in your brain. Serotonin is the chemical that helps you feel calm, content, and happy. It regulates mood, sleep, and appetite. and the vast majority of it comes from your digestive system. When your gut bacteria are healthy and well fed, they support the production of serotonin. When your gut microbiome is out of balance, serotonin production can suffer. This is why some people report feeling better overall when they start eating oats regularly. Not just better digestion, better mood, more stable emotions, more consistent energy, a general sense of well-being that's hard to pinpoint but definitely noticeable. Research confirms that eating oats increases beneficial bacteria like bifidobacterium and Akkermansia. These are bacteria associated with lower inflammation, better weight control, and improved metabolic health. When you eat oats, you're not just feeding yourself. You're feeding trillions of bacteria that control inflammation, produce mood chemicals, and protect your gut health. You're supporting an entire ecosystem inside your body. This is why a simple bowl of oatmeal can have effects that seem to go far beyond what you'd expect from just a grain. The changes aren't imaginary. They're not placebo. They're biological. Now you understand what oats do inside your body. So how do you get the most benefit from them? First, which oats should you choose? The best option is steel-cut oats. These are oat grains that have been chopped into pieces but otherwise left intact. They have the lowest glycemic index, around 53, and they keep you full the longest. The downside is they take longer to cook, usually 20 to 30 minutes. A very good option is rolled oats, also called old-fashioned oats. These have been steamed and flattened. They cook faster, usually in about 5 minutes, and they still have excellent benefits. The glycemic index is slightly higher, around 55, but still very good. Instant oats are acceptable. They've been processed more so they cook in just a minute or two. The glycemic index is higher, around 67, but they still contain beta-glucan. The main thing to avoid is instant oatmeal packets with added sugar. Those can undermine the blood sugar benefits. Plain instant oats are fine. Here's an important point. Regular oats from any grocery store are perfectly good. You don't need expensive organic varieties to get the benefits. Beta-glucan and avenanthramides are present in all oats, regardless of price. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. One note for people sensitive to gluten. Oats themselves don't contain gluten. However, they're often processed in facilities that also handle wheat, so cross-contamination is common. If you have celiac disease or severe gluten sensitivity, look for oats that are certified gluten-free. Second, what should you eat with your oats? Adding fat helps. Nuts. Nut butter or a drizzle of olive oil can slow digestion even further and increase the feeling of fullness. Adding protein is also smart. Greek yogurt, eggs on the side, or a scoop of protein powder can balance out the meal and keep you satisfied longer. Berries are an excellent addition. Blueberries and strawberries add more antioxidants that work alongside the avenanthramides in oats. What should you avoid? Adding too much sugar. Maple syrup. Honey and brown sugar are delicious, but large amounts can offset the blood sugar benefits. If you want sweetness, a small amount is fine, or try using berries to add natural sweetness instead. Third, how should you prepare your oats? Cook them with water or milk and let them sit for a minute or two before eating. This allows the beta-glucan to fully hydrate and form that beneficial gel. Overnight oats work very well too. Soaking oats in milk or yogurt overnight allows the beta-glucan to hydrate completely. You get all the same benefits with zero cooking time in the morning. One practical tip. If you're new to eating oats daily or you're not used to eating much fiber, start with smaller portions. Suddenly adding a lot of fiber to your diet can cause bloating or discomfort for some people. Your gut bacteria need time to adjust. Start with half a cup and gradually increase over a week or two. So after everything we've explored, what's the verdict? Oats are not just ordinary grain. They contain beta-glucan, a fiber that forms a gel in your gut, slows the absorption of sugar, pulls cholesterol out of your body, and feeds the beneficial bacteria that influence everything from inflammation to mood. They contain avenanthramides, antioxidants found nowhere else in the food supply that reduce inflammation and help protect your blood vessels. And they do all of this for just a few cents per bowl. One of the cheapest foods on earth is also one of the most powerful foods for your health. That's oats. After learning what oats actually do inside your body, from forming that protective gel to feeding your gut bacteria, what surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you know someone who thinks oats are just ordinary carbs with nothing special about them, share this video with them. The science might change their morning. Subscribe to the channel to discover more about what science reveals about the foods you eat every day. Now that you understand what oats do, there's another breakfast food that was considered an enemy of health for decades until science discovered something completely unexpected. That video is coming soon.